Hey YouTube, it's Chris from Universe X, and today I am actually going to put out a video that lots of people have done, but I feel like every time somebody does this sort of video, it adds a little bit more on to the subject as a whole. So before we get into it, remember to like, comment, subscribe, help me grow the channel, because without your support, I'm literally nothing. So the video I'm about to do today is actually a noob's guide to being a noob, and I'm gonna break it down into multiple segments. If you guys want me to make more pieces, just leave a comment down below. But the first video is actually going to be 100% about just early gearing, because lots of people have misconceptions, lots of people have things they want to do, and I just want to let you know what worked for me very well. So this game is an RPG, and it's a very deep RPG for a phone game. Not even for a phone game, in general. Like, it's amazing it's on a phone game. The graphics are awesome. We all love this game for different reasons. But what I want to talk about is just the early game gearing. Lots of people feel lost. There's so much to do once you're done with the first couple levels or chapters, and I just want to kind of eliminate that. So we're going to first start off this video by doing a selective summon on a new account. And lots of people also have the question of what to roll on, and it's just it's kind of there. I mean, some people want to min-max and talk about how you need a 5-star DPS that's good plus Angelica reroll for days until you start it off. Other people are just like for the style, just style over everything, and other people are just like no waifu, no waifu, and that's okay. Whatever floats your boat is good. But personally for me, I would like to make sure that I have a healer, because until you get specialized gear later on, it doesn't matter who does damage kind of early mid game. If you can't stay alive, you can't stay alive. And so I want to shoot for a healer, so we're going for a Katie's or Angelica, and if we get some DPS along the way, that's good. And the reason why that's okay is because there are a lot of units in this game that put in work no matter what you're doing. Judith, Alexa, Terranor Guard. There's just a lot of units in this game that don't require 4 stars or natural 5 stars to actually do work. So let's hop in on this selective summon. I'm going to speed it up until I find exactly what I'm looking for, and then we'll explain why I took it. Okay, so as far as these summons go, I did not get to pack a I did not get to pack the healer I wanted. You guys saw me pull Destina earlier, but there was Destina and absolutely no damage. And I do want to start off, at least with a selective summon, with 1 damaging unit. So healing and a DPS. But I think this one is particularly too good to let go. We've got Armin, and Armin has a stun on his S1. Armin has blinding and poison on his S2, and then he has a protective shield plus healing on his S3. Sorry, I keep saying his, but she's such a female. She's a really good unit for the first chunk of the game. I remember using her on my main account for a very long time. Then there's Shuri. Shuri crits. He needs to be built full crit, but we can get that. And even with just the full Ubered stuff at first, and even more so with the crit damage set that they give you on Adventure's Path, and we'll get there later. But every time he crits, he gives combat readiness. So Shuri can give poison on S1, decrease combat readiness on his S3, and every time you crit, period, your team gets to go faster. Vildred, just a monster at farming, one of the best farming units in the game. Pseudo AoE on his S1, good passive that's an AoE on his S2 if he kills something, and his S3 is AoE. So this is a very, very, very powerful early game kit for me to have. I've got a tank, I've got a single target damage dealer / CR push, and I've also just got a smasher on this. So there's nothing really else to really put in here. I already have Alexa on this account. Exodus Toph is kind of nice, so we'll actually just keep this. This would be the one we confirm with, because we're not trying to roll the bones like that. So that is the first step. I just told you why. Unfortunately, we got to use Aether for now as our healer, but I mean, we could always work on Montmorency in the background, get her up, get her specialty change eventually. But for now, until we pull something better, that is my current thing. And you know what? I got a free summon, so why not just throw that in there, just in the off chance that something magical happens. Nothing magical, but it's a unit I don't have yet.
Do you have some more work for me?
That's pretty much just how that works. I told you why I got into this, but now that you have your team, the next step is to just go through story, run through story. If you notice right here, story will get you a great many things. Just stepping in, you can look around and see that doing the quest, just getting the stuff done, you get runes, which help you awaken your characters. You get leaves, which can buy items but also give you energy. You get sky stones. Sky stones will buy you plenty of things, but most importantly, bookmarks and a spare energy. You'll get bookmarks right here. That's another summon right there. Phantasmas to help you level up. Artifacts. The story gives you pretty much everything. And so just grinding the story, you'll get so many resources to just summon more times, to build up your repertoire of people, especially if you're free to play and this is your main source. Alongside the story, when you get all the way to 1010, chapter 10, you're going to be able to get a Moonlight summon, which will be how you receive light and dark units. Yes, a lot of times you'll get some 3 stars unless you're incredibly lucky, but when you hit a 4-star or 5-star, it will feel amazing because most of them are game breaking, game changing. Now, Moonlight characters are geared towards PvP, but that doesn't mean they can't wreck face in PvE too, let me tell you. And so they're going to be some of the most sought after summons that you will be going for. Moving back, the next thing, while you're doing the story, simultaneously, they've added in a new feature called Adventure's Path. And this will reward you for literally doing the same things you're going to do. As you can see, complete or enhance an equipment to 3. You get health armor, and you get as well as enhancement stuff to make sure that your gear goes to a higher level. Just clearing stage 1, 10 in adventure, you're going to get 30,000 gold. You need gold to take your items off of people, which I don't advise doing because that gets expensive very fast. The higher up your level your gear is, it can cost up to 50,000 gold to remove a top tier item from a character. So the name of the game is making different sets, and I know how hard this is going to be. So until you can make different sets, you want to make sure that your main team is the team that you're going to rock with for the next I don't know how long, because keeping gear on characters is one of the easiest ways to save your money. You get energy, you get catalysts, which help you awaken. You get just plenty of just charms to help you level up things. Phantasmas, which you'll find later on the easiest way to level up your people. You can use normal units too, get them to 2 stars, get them to 3 stars, get them to 4 stars, and then feed them into your already cool 4-star units to level them up to 5 stars. And the same with 5 stars and 6 stars. But that's just how that rolls. Adventurous Path is wonderful, and the prizes get better and better and better, while the quests essentially are just, again, things you'd be doing anyway. Master, just grinding through the story and checking off these boxes for Adventure Path, and your characters will have great gear in no time. And if you're a little skeptical, I wasn't able to auto Wyvern 11 until I completed Adventurous Path, and they gave you a full crit set that rolls beautifully. Speed, health, crit damage, attack, critical strike chance, all the stats. Those are the only stats on the armor. And so my Karen is able to just blow through Wyvern. Doing pretty well until I get Kisei, hopefully when the banner drops soon enough, hopefully tomorrow, but it looks like next week. The best I could really do for it. Now, moving on, well, slightly on, there's 4 different tiers to this, so there's a lot to do in Adventurous Path, and you're going to just get a lot of gear and items and things that'll last you for the rest of the game like that. Now, once you're done with Story and Adventurous Path, actually, I apologize, not even when you're done with Story and Adventurous Path, you're going to want to weave in Labyrinth, okay? And I can't do Labyrinth at this very moment, okay, never mind, I lied. But Labyrinth is a cool function where you get to go in and you get to go through a map-like level, like some of the levels you'll find in Story Mode. And just by going in, you'll get the Labyrinth coins. They buy charms for your neck and rings, and those are important slots later on. But they just, it's a very good way to get casual gear. But the most important part about the early game is that in Labyrinth, get in here real quick, you are able to find gold chests. And if you look at the map, there are these nubs, these dead ends. In one of these, sometimes even 2, there's going to be a gold chest. And that gold chest will have gear that will carry you through probably most of Story and a little bit after. I know the Shuri on my main account is used for Raid. He's used for, which is the highest tier of Labyrinth. He's used for Abyss, which we'll get to in a moment. And he's wearing 3 of the pieces that you get from here. Uberid's spear or Uberid's halberd, really good weapon, lasts you through a lot of the game. Uberid's helmet, very good, just attack-based helmet. And then Uberid's necklace, which is the first crit rock you'll get in the game. When I say rock, I mean the main stat on the necklace is critical strike chance. You max it out, it gets to 35%, and that's a whole whopping chunk of your crit damage, or your percent chance to crit. So on a character like Shuri, who would need that to make sure that he always crits, excellent. So you're going to want to do Labyrinth every day. Make sure that you go to those dead ends and get those chests, because that's going to be another way that you accrue gear that will last you for a long time. Backing out of Labyrinth, the next thing that you're going to want to do is actually, when you're feeling ready for it, you're going to want to roll into Abyss, because Abyss is an inverted tower just kind of game. You go down deeper and deeper into it, and I don't think I can access Abyss on this character right now, but you go deeper and deeper into it, and every floor you beat, you are able to get more and more prizes, and they can range from lifesteal gear, which don't scoff at, because when you don't have specialized gear, when you don't have your crit sets or your critical damage sets, your counterattack sets, lifesteal has some very solid rolls in the stats, very solid substats, I should say, and very solid just gear that will carry your characters. You know, you might want to save the Uberid's gear that you get from Labyrinth for your main DPS, but put your second DPS on a lifesteal set and just see how much harder they hit than the greens and blues that you were putting them on before. Abyss will also get you gold. Abyss will get you sky stones, charms to level up items. Abyss will get you transmit stones, including golden transmit stones, which you need for galaxy bookmarks, which you need for moonlight summons. But Abyss is very, very specialized. You'll be going through there and you'll find that sometimes you may just find a team impossible that somebody found easy. And it's just because they had different units from you. They maybe had a unit that made the fight very, very compromised. And that's okay. Finding the comp that works for you, and sometimes getting a little bit of gear, works to break those walls. And sometimes RNG. If you find that a boss battle is close, every single time like that close, you may just be 1 or 2 tries away from just having the time where he doesn't attack your biggest damage dealer and attacks your tank instead. There's a lot of RNG to that one, but overall, Abyss is going to get you gear. So, just to cover over the steps. 1, roll and make sure that you have a team that can last, in my opinion. Like I said, I totally went against what I did, and I got a healerless roll. I didn't get Angelica, Katie's, or Destina, but most people will tell you that with what I got, that was a very solid offensive team. With Aether and Aether and Armin together, they'll keep your team very, very healthy. That's actually the composition I had for quite some time, and it got me through story mode and more. So that's wonderful right there. Vildred, good damage dealer, monstrous late game when you actually can get the gear for him. And Shuri is great. Plus his speed imprint, which is when an imprint is when you fuse a character with another version of itself. It's what you do with dupes in this game. He gives the team speed in 2 spots out of your 4-spot grid, and so that'll help Vildred because Vildred's his skill damage scales off of speed as well as, you know, benefits from attack percentage and whatnot. So there's a lot going on there, but team selection, and once you've got that, you're going to move through selective. So, well, you're done through selective. So I apologize. You're going to go through story, coupled with adventure path, labyrinth for gear. In the meantime, every day burn your 3 labyrinths, and then after that, you can start trying to tackle on Abyss. And the last thing I was going to talk about is hunt. Everybody talks about how you need to rush Wyvern 11. Well, you know what? If it takes you 30 minutes to beat Wyvern 11 and you can only do it 40% of the time, and then you have to roll the dice hoping to get a good piece of gear, you're wasting your time. You need to build up your team. You need to build up the units that you need. Find that Frost tank, level up that Angelica, level up that Tyrannor guard so you can defense break every turn, pull that Karen and let her be your DPS. Either way, you need to make sure that your teams are correct for the hunt. And I'm going to be doing a lot of more noob series. This is just going to be the first of many. So next time I can talk about plenty of other subjects. I'll break it down so that these videos will be a series. But I hope you guys like this one. I hope that this taught you something a little different. And leave it down in the comments if this is helpful for you starting out. Let me know what I could do differently. And like I said, if you like the vibe, subscribe. Thanks. I'll see you next time. Peace.